Welcome back, students. This is Vishal Pandey and I welcome you all in my online class. First of all, let me draw your attention towards my last lecture, which was the introduction of tenses. Now we have already discussed in the previous lecture that how many types of tenses are there in English grammar, and now we are going to discuss each one of them individually. So we have already discussed present tense. Now let me clear this, that if you're talking about past tense is also divided in four such parts. That first one is the past indefinite tense, which can be also said as simple past tense. Then we have past continuous tense, which can be considered as past progressive tense. The third one is past perfect tense, and the fourth one is past perfect continuous tense. So this is very clear to you, because in present also we have like the same situation which we are having in past, and then in future tense as well we have the same condition to follow. So in future tense we have the future indefinite, simple future, the future continuous tense, future perfect tense, and the future perfect continuous tense. So you have to be very clear about present tense, its four forms, then past tense, its four forms, and later on the future tense and its four forms. This is very clear. Let me tell you one more thing, that to understand each one's structure individually with respect to similar tenses, what I am saying is, let us understand each one of tense, like present tense, past tense, and future tense. All together there are 12 tense, because 4 in each. So 4 3s are 12. So there are 12 tenses. Now what is our target? My target is this, that you could understand very easily. So to make you to understand in an easy way, I have divided all the tenses with respect to their commonness. I have found some tenses which are common, and we will understand that how they are common, in what context they are common. So now you can see on the screen that now we will see and try to find out the similar tenses. Children, there are similar tenses which is divided in grammar by grammarians to understand in an easy way, so that you can divide it and learn it according to your convenience. So similar tenses, how you would be able to find out similar tenses? Now let me tell you that similar tense is very easy to identify by its similar names. Let me repeat it again. Similar tense can be identified by its similar names. First of all, let us understand that we have present indefinite, we have past indefinite, as well as we have future indefinite tense. So these are common tenses. Why I am saying this common? Because I have something to prove you later on. I will show you why am I saying that these tenses belong to one family, why these are common. Now I have written some similar tenses. You can see present indefinite, past indefinite, and future indefinite is similar in nature. Can you say this? Present indefinite, past indefinite, future indefinite is similar in nature. Why it is similar? Because in negative and interrogative sentences, when you make a negative sentence using these tenses, when you make an interrogative sentence using these tense, the verb form will be always in first form. This is the common thing among these three. When you talk about present continuous, past continuous, future continuous, what is common thing? Because it also takes verb ing form. What it takes? verb ing form in it, so it is common. Now let us discuss about present perfect, past perfect and future perfect, children. Why it is common? Because it takes verb third form. Present perfect also takes verb third form, past perfect also takes verb third form, as well as future perfect also takes verb third form. So why, this is the reason why I have kept these tenses in one group, and we will learn, we will understand like this only, because I have created one family, like I have created, this is the first group of tenses, this is the second group of tenses, and this is the third group of tenses, which are common because these three tenses takes verb first form, these three tenses takes verb ing form, these three tenses takes verb third form. There is one more group which is very important to understand, and that is of present perfect continuous tense, past perfect continuous tense and the future perfect continuous tense. Now what it takes? Has, have, had plus verb ing form. I will tell you in detail, so you need not to worry, because I'm going to discuss these all tenses individually with structure and with example. So no need to worry. Let us discuss in detail, starting with present indefinite tense. Now children, when I say present indefinite tense, what it means? The verb will be in its present form, in its simple form. The sentence will be in its simple form. Since I have already mentioned that I will take only 3 sentences of each tenses to explain you, because I have already told you that there are at least 5 sentences which can be taken under consideration, but we are taking only 3, starting with affirmative, which is also called positive, then we have negative and interrogative. So present indefinite tense I am going to take, and I will take affirmative sentence first, the positive sentence first. Now let us understand the structure. If I say present indefinite tense, then you might have a confusion of that what should be a proper structure and appropriate structure to write present indefinite tense. So there are 2 ways to understand. The first one, the subject should be singular, then what you will do? If the subject is plural, what you will do? So I have a complete solution for you, that if your subject is singular, children, if your subject is singular, I am talking about positive sentence, in which tense? Present indefinite tense. What I am talking about? Present indefinite tense. And the positive sentence of present indefinite tense, if the subject is singular, what is the proper structure? So you will take the subject first, and verb will be in SES form. Verb will be in SES form plus object. So this is the complete structure to write a positive sentence with a subject singular in present indefinite tense. Let me clear once again. If you have to write a present indefinite tense, you have to write in present indefinite tense with a positive sentence and the subject is singular, then your structure will be subject plus verb SES form plus object. What is the example, children? I have taken a singular subject, that is he. He is a singular subject. Now he eat too much. If I write he eat too much, it will be a wrong sentence, because the rule is saying if the subject is singular, you must use SES into the main verb. Now what is the main verb? It. And already it has been added s to the main verb. So what it is? He eats too much, and it shows to verbs ses form. Now let us take one more example. She goes for a walk every day. She is a singular subject. Goes, es has been used, like you can see in the structure, subject plus verb s or es. You can use s or you can use es according to the verb. If verb is taking only s, you will put s to it. If the verb is taking es, you will put es to it. So she goes for a walk every day. So how simple is that? You could understand it in a very easy way. So if I talk about plural subject, it can be happen that your subject which is asked to you to write in an exam, if the subject is plural, what you are going to do? So no need to be confused. Just be relaxed and think about it, because when I say she goes for a walk every day, if let me give you one very important idea to understand how you can understand that we have to put s or es or not. Whenever we say that singular or plural, what is the concept of singular and plural? Let me clear it. When we say this is a pen, it is a singular. When we say these are pens, then it is plural. So when you were a child and when you start learning, when you started to enter in the school, when you started your journey towards the school, teacher asks you what is singular and what is plural. What you say? When we add s or es, it becomes plural. When we remove s or es from a verb, from a word, it is singular. But what you have to understand, that there is a difference between subject and a verb. When you add s and es in the form of a subject, it becomes plural. And when you use s and es in the form of a verb, it becomes singular. This is very important for you to understand. When we add ses in the subject, it becomes plural. When we add ses in the verb, it becomes singular. This is what you have to keep in mind. So you can see it. What is it? A subject or a verb? Yes, it is a verb. So when you put s, can see, when you put s, it becomes singular, because subject is singular. If subject is singular, verb should be always singular. If the subject is singular, you can see go and goes. If you write goes, you are putting es in the go form and it becomes singular. So keep this in your mind. When you put ses in the form of a verb, it becomes singular. When you remove s and es, it becomes plural. Now you can see I have written here its, so it was singular. When I remove s, it becomes it. Now it is plural. It has been used after you, and you is a plural subject. So you eat too much, because subject is you and you is what? You is a plural subject, so it will take a plural verb as well. They is a plural subject, it will take plural verb as well. Now you can see I have removed es from go, it will goes. Now it has become go. They go for a walk every day. Subject, verb, first form here, and then object. So this was the explanation of affirmative sentence of present indefinite tense. Now I am going to explain you in the next video past indefinite tense and then future indefinite tense. Now I suggest you all to write down in your English 1 copy all these structure, definitions, structures and examples. Each and everything should be well written in your notebook. Okay, so best of luck. Till then, take care. Bye bye. We will meet in the next lecture, which will going to be the tense lecture, but the third part. Now this is second part. So I hope you all will work according to your convenience. Bye bye.